called into an immigration centre near Cambridge today after disturbances broke out among the detainees. Trouble flared after a man was found dead at the Oakington centre. Our Home Affairs correspondent Sally Chidzoi reports.
They were angry and they wanted to show it. A fellow detainee at the Oakington Immigration Removal Centre was dead. They needed to make a point. Some in the crowd were urging fellow protesters to move forward, but the demonstration was well contained within the inner gates, while police with riot shields arrived, concerned that it could escalate. This is the first demonstration reported at the centre in 6 years. Tensions have been running high since 4 o'clock this morning when detainees discovered that one of their own had been found dead. They say the man, who's from Africa, had reported feeling unwell the day before. They claim staff here didn't do enough to help him. The immigration centre backs onto housing. In recent times, residents say they've been aware of detainees escaping, but nothing like this.
Well, if you take this as an isolated case, then it's OK because it's being managed. But if you look at it on a wider scale, it's a bit concerning that these things are happening and that I do live next door to it.
There are no reports of injuries. The man's death is not being treated as suspicious. Cambridgeshire police negotiators are on site. The Home Office says an investigation's underway. Sally Chidzoi, BBC Look East, Cambridgeshire.
And we return to the subject of immigration later on in tonight's programme. Our special report is from Peterborough on the desperate migrants who are sleeping rough in back gardens.
And in our big question tonight, what the main parties have been saying about immigration. Also tonight, Anjana Gadgil is with an unusual campaigner.
Hundreds of people lined the streets of Chelmsford today to cheer and applaud as the funeral cortege of a soldier headed towards the cathedral. They were paying tribute to Lance Corporal Scott Hardy, a man described as larger than life. He was killed 3 weeks ago in Afghanistan.
He was 26. He should have been coming home next week. But today his long-term partner Charlene, family and friends walked behind his coffin. The cathedral of his hometown ready to honour him.
We've seen these things on our televisions at Wootton Bassett, so it's very special that it's here because he was local. Scott was local, so that means a lot to us.
He entered the packed cathedral to the theme from Rocky. Everyone said Scott was a character, the life and soul of the party, and a great soldier.
I think his family feel very strongly that music really summarises him as a character and a man.
Sad loss for you all.
Yes, it is. A sad loss for us as a regiment, obviously, but even worse for his family and the very many friends he has here in Chelmsford. I know they will miss him desperately.
Scott's sister-in-law paid tribute to our hero, our warrior, who brought laughter, love and joy. And Charlene's dedication to her childhood sweetheart was read by two close friends.
Dear Scott, you are my lover, my soldier, my hero and my best friend. To me, you were my everything from beginning to end. I fell in love with you because you were you, a love so exciting, so fresh and so new. When I saw you in your uniform, you made me so happy, I burst with pride.
I love you so much, Scott, and I wish this heartache will go away, but I know you are watching me and you will help me through each day. I can't say goodbye to you because I know one day we will see each other again. I love you so much, babe, and I can't wait till then.
The cortege left the cathedral to the sound of applause, heading off to a private committal at Chelmsford Crematorium. The firing party gave its salute to the 5th Viking to die on the present tour of Afghanistan. Kim Riley, BBC Look East, Chelmsford.
A man who was jailed for life for murdering a police informer is appealing against his conviction. The body of Dean Borshall was found on an allotment at Leigh-on-Sea. He'd been shot in the head. Ricky Percival is challenging the evidence presented against him at his trial in 2006. Detectives investigating the murder of Nicola Ray in Basildon have released a man they were questioning. The mother of two was last seen leaving a friend's house nearly 10 years ago. The police have been digging up the garage floor at the house where she lived. An investigation is underway in Ipswich after a man was electrocuted during a burglary at an electricity substation. The man who died was Jonathan Aylert, who was 30 years old. The police say they found tools at the scene used to cut through metal cables.
A cordon was set up around the substation in Ransom's Way in Ipswich this morning as police and investigators tried to establish exactly what happened. Flowers were left at the scene in memory of the man who died during the burglary.
The victim was found by paramedics just before 11:30 last night. When the ambulance arrived, it appears there was a second man here who flagged the vehicle down but then disappeared. When police officers checked the site, they found that doors had been forced and also found tools used for cutting metal.
Officials said some equipment had been stolen from inside the site. They had to cut power to several thousand people after the man's body was found to make the area safe for emergency teams. Supplies were restored within the hour. The incident comes as EDF Energy admits that metal theft is a growing problem and is warning of the dangers getting close to 33,000 volts.
Well, it's very sad that somebody has died here today. Obviously our substations are well protected, but they're hazardous environments, and really nobody that's unauthorised should go in there. And if anybody actually sees anybody interfering with equipment or trying to get in, then they should ring the police or the number on the substation.
It has 70,000 substations in total and says while it does everything to keep people away, in this incident entry was forced. It's using an independent forensics team to help establish precisely what happened. Kevin Birch, BBC Look East, in Ipswich.
Essex County Cricket Club could be playing some of their matches at the new Olympic Stadium. The club's team